What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Diamond Club Podcast. I am John Hunter. This is Chris Layeff, and right below me, well, this is how it looks from me, is Danny the Pitchman Hart. What is up, boys?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
I don't like the way you said below me, though.
Yeah, it sounded
my name.
Gay. It sounded gay, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know what I mean? You didn't seem like you really cared about it when I first said it. It took a couple minutes to really give a shit.
Tinkering around in my brain, I didn't know how to react to it. I also hit my head on the way down here on a fucking cutout in my ceiling that apparently I wasn't ready for. So I'm like a little woozy. Something's going on. Probably need medical attention, but it is what it is.
I'm feeling woozy here.
Scream. Great movie.
Not many people get that reference. I'm so proud that someone else gets it.
He's the main.
Yes.
That's that's how it was when I was changing my kids' diapers. I'm feeling woozy.
What's that actor's name?
Matthew Lillard. That's right.
He's the man, dude.
Other than that, I think I've seen him in
Scooby-Doo.
Without a Paddle.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and the fuck's the movie called? 13 Ghosts.
And he was with that movie. He was with that movie. She's All That.
Yes, he was dancing. He does the "Give It to Me, Baby." That fucking whole dance.
Yeah,
13 Ghosts is a fantastic movie.
It's one of my favorites.
13 Ghosts. That was like one of the only movies when I was younger that actually like scared me a little bit, like bothered me.
Yeah.
What?
You weren't scared the fucking when they're just coming out of the goddamn rooms? Like, oh shit, their door slid open. They're gonna get me. Like, fuck that.
Only one movie really. Like, I don't even think it's. I don't even think I've even seen it. But the thought of watching it scared the shit out of me. So much that I gave my sister an X Factor. I don't know if anyone remembers what that is with X-Pac when he the X Factor. I performed that finishing move on my sister because she told me that. She's like, fine, we'll just watch Princess Diaries like you want to. And I'm like, I'm not watching Princess Diaries. I just don't want to watch Stigmata.
Okay.
Stigmata was the movie. So I was like, what the fuck? And to be honest, I've never seen a fucking second of Stigmata because everyone realized. I'm like, want to why? Because I put everyone on notice.
I don't think I watched it.
The only movie that scared me before we get into baseball talk
was Glacier Phillies bullpen? Oh.
Well, besides the Phillies bullpen, was the new It.
The new It scared you?
Like, not scared me, but I was like, this is a little creepy. Like,
of
course, I'm an idiot.
Top 5 movie in my daughter's choice right now is It.
And, I watch it. Not everyone is Tegan, Danny, who just sits there and laughs at body parts.
Daddy, can we watch It? Like, oh, come on, dude. Like, that's why do you think I'm in the basement right now? Like, fuck, I don't want to be up there.
Yeah, she's
still awake. I'm not going upstairs.
I'm not saying one day you're not going to wake up. You're not going to wake up and she's going to be above you with a knife?
As soon as I moved in this house, I hid all the knives. First thing I did.
But we're going to know who did it.
And she also used to sleep. She used to sleep, like, still to this day, if I bring a helium balloon in the house, she'll fucking hold it while she's sleeping.
Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah. That's creepy.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I live with. That's the doubt. Just fucking, that's a routine. So it is what it is, I guess. But I'll probably go missing.
God bless you. So, right. I mean, the Phillies have been pretty fucking good recently. And it's a lot different of a conversation than we've been having about them. I mean, it seems like I know this says the episode 3, but I think we're really on what, like episode 7, 8?
More than that, definitely.
Yes.
Are we? I don't know how many we're really on.
It gotta be
who knows?
Like 12-ish.
Well, we're episode 3 on the new.
Yeah,
but we're episode 3 on the new network.
Okay, so but episodes prior to this, when we were on the other network, it seemed to be like the normal conversation was, just the same every week. Like we've talked about the same thing. We finally, other than one thing, there hasn't been much of, complaining the last couple weeks. But it's 14 games. They've won 10 of their last 14.
Yeah, 5 of 6, 10 of 14 against, and not to mention the Padres and the Red Sox were part of them. Like they won four straight series. Yeah, the Cubs are
the
kind of
Cubs,
they've been
they
shit.
chase the Cubs in a
obviously.
shit spot.
Yeah, and then the Marlins are the Marlins, but they usually beat us. But 4 straight series, like I mean, it is hard to talk bad about them right now. Like they're
Absolutely
just doing a lot of things well.
They're not really giving us much reason to hate. I mean, we saw another blown save.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Ranger was due.
Absolutely.
But like where the ball was hit and pitched, like I feel like it wasn't a bad pitch. It was under his kneecaps, and Aguilar went and got it.
He's a monster.
And his stats, he's got 7 home runs in that have either tied or taken the lead in the 8th inning or more. What?
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous stat.
Suarez wasn't hitting his spots. He was that's the first game probably this year. Like even
he didn't really look
a couple exactly. He was all over the place. Like he didn't like look as confident as usually. Like he didn't even look comfortable. Like I don't know how to explain it, but there was something definitely off. He didn't have his A game, but I mean that's okay. That can happen. If it happens once a week, it's fine. Not fucking 4 games a week. Like once a week's fine. It's cool. Whatever. They've been playing well, so.
And Ranger was getting ahead of players. He was getting them 0-2, and then he would just throw something nasty, and they would swing and miss at it because you're like this. Unfortunately, he didn't get ahead of Aguilar, and he hit it 390 feet into the outfield.
Exactly. He didn't have his location, so he was pitching from behind players, and it's just recipe for disaster. But
what are you going to do? You know, exactly. But this is like, I feel like this is just classic, like management of the bullpen is, and maybe it's because Ranger faced he'd already pitched 2 days in a row. They didn't want to face. I guess they didn't want him pitching the next day. I mean, I don't really get that right now. I mean, it's not like he's just coming off an All-Star break where he had a week off. He definitely could have pitched back-to-back games. But they gave the save opportunity to Neris.
Yeah. Who pitched 2 innings the day before. Yeah. He looked great in his 2 innings the day before. So
he's definitely looks like his command is a lot better.
Yeah. Confident.
He's confident. This is something that I feel like they were trying to touch on a little bit with him, and after his most recent blown save, when they were and I saw them saying that that was like a big thing for him. Like he was distraught that he did that, and he felt like he let the team down. Which, I mean, you need that. You need guys who are going to have some type of accountability and be upset about the fact that they just blew a save or blew a lead or blew anything. Like you would hope that they would be, feeling a certain way about that. You know what I mean? So it's good that he felt a certain way about that. And hopefully this is a mindset thing that's going to take him in and possibly, show that he should be the closer here.
Like, it's funny because you bring that he was upset about it. And that just brings you back to, I'm not saying, it brings back to 2011 when Cliff Lee blew that lead against St. Louis, and his response was, well, that's baseball. I get it. I didn't agree with it. Like, you don't say that in the playoffs. You say that during the regular season. I could be 100% wrong, but wrong is annoyed that he was. Yeah, that's how baseball works. No, dude, you were one of the best pitchers in the league. Like, you got to hold that 3-0 lead in the playoffs. But the fact that Neris showed emotion and that he was upset.
Yeah,
maybe that's what the Phillies needed. Maybe that's exactly what they needed. You couple questionable calls by Girardi, like your leading RBI guy, and you pull a double steal. I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't understand that at all. I mean, I feel like that had to be like a play that Girardi called for. There's no way.
Could have been a missed sign.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that was such a bizarre thing to do. Like you have Hoskins, who's one of your most productive hitters, power hitters, obviously on the team. It's like, what the hell? Like 2 outs. Like, what are you trying to do there? Like I don't know. Like if JT did it on his own, he's a smart player. Like he's a great base runner. And maybe he just had a bad decision. But yeah, that was definitely weird. Wasn't expecting it whatsoever.
Could have just saw something and
right. So
I mean, you do got to make a good play. The catcher has to make a accurate throw to second, and the second baseman or shortstop has to make an accurate throw back. So there is multiple things that have to happen to make that play, and they did it well. But it's just it was really just out of nowhere, random as hell. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was Girardi just trying to overmanage something.
Yeah,
but
could have been like just trying to manufacture more runs.
So, do you think when he comes back? I know we didn't touch base on this in the group. Is Janikowski the starter the rest of the year, or are they going to be rotating?
I mean, to be honest, he's not somebody who at this point he hasn't done anything that make me think that he shouldn't play. But at where Odubel's giving me a lot of reasons why he shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
right.
I think
you know what I mean. Like that's the best way I can say it. Like
it's not. Yeah, exactly.
It's at this point they're just going to ride the hot hand, kind of like how they're doing with the closer role. That's what you pretty much have. Like unless they go out and get a Starling Marte, they go out and get like maybe even like Chris Bryant could be available. Like if they go out and get an outfielder, then you make a move.
Yeah.
But at this point, I mean, I would just assume that
right now. Right now he has to. You have to put him in every game. Like he's playing very well. He's good defensively. He's fast.
He's getting on base. He's scoring runs.
He pretty much steals every time he gets on first. Like he's a good base runner. Obviously, he's a local kid, so that's cool. But like, doesn't matter to the Phillies. But there's no way Dombrowski's like looking at him and be like, oh shit, maybe we don't have to trade for a center fielder. Like if there's a player you can go get like a Marte or Bryant. Fucking obviously pulling the trigger.
But then, like I said, didn't Brian just come out and say he loved playing center field?
Yeah, so it's his favorite position.
And and you know what else he loves? The Phillies right fielder.
Yeah. I don't want all this talk about Vegas getting the A's. I don't like that for us.
No. Well, this is the thing. Yes, I understand that, but like Bryce Harper's not going anywhere.
Oh no, but like
they can't. I mean, unless Vegas is like, listen, we'll take his fucking whole contract on. We're not going to give you a dime.
I feel like they will. Like that. I feel like the owner there would probably be trying to pry him away just because he's obviously a local kid, and then you got ties around the league with Chris Bryant and shit like that. They would love to go play there. I'm sure it'd be like the fucking first players for the Vegas team. Like I guess it would be the Las Vegas Athletics, right? It would have to stay the A's. They're not going to switch that.
The Vegas A's, I guess.
Yeah, so like it would still be the A's organization with all the records and shit, but like it would be cool for them, I'm sure, to go there. But it's not like a real fear that I have, but it's like I'd rather fucking Nashville get a team, not have to bring that into play at all. But,
same, that would be great.
And that was like, give me a reason to go to Nashville for no reason.
Right, and that was like the last week. I know John had saw. I had the CEO of the Charlotte Bats who was trying to get a baseball team to Charlotte, and I didn't know that Charlotte. I know Nashville was in the running. Well, not in the running, but then their names. John had brought up that Nashville for the A's would be a good spot. I was like, hey, listen, put Nashville and bring Charlotte. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe the money there. There's money to be made in those two stadiums. Now, I don't know if anyone's here ever has been to Nashville, but I don't know where. I'm assuming they would play it. Yeah, they would either play it in Nissan Stadium or build another stadium across the way, and that's a moneymaker. Like between country music and everything else down there, like the hockey stadium's right there, the football stadium's right there. It'd be a moneymaker for Major League Baseball. They'd be stupid.
Do you know how mad Dave Dombrowski probably would be if that happened, and like they left and went to Nashville? Like he tried to get a Nashville team.
Yeah.
Like he tried to own a Nashville team. I think it was him, Justin Timberlake, and I'm almost positive Billy Beane was a part of that.
Yeah, Billy Beane was.
So I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of. Can I be honest with you? I don't think Charlotte has a chance.
I think it would beat Nashville or Vegas.
I really don't think it's Nashville or Vegas. I think Charlotte has there is buzz for Charlotte. Yeah. One, the biggest thing here is there's already a team named the Bats. He'd have to change that. There's a AAA affiliate for the Cincinnati Reds called the Louisville Bats. Right. He'd have to change the name.
The fact that they're not the Louisville Sluggers is just outrageous. And it
honestly goes.
It has to be copyright.
Right up my ass that they're not called the Louisville Sluggers.
And they still went with Bats. Like, are they trying to be ironic with that? Like, we're just the Louisville Bats, not the Slugger.
But you know what's funny with that is their actual symbol is a bat. Like not like a baseball bat.
Flying bat. Yeah,
like a bat.
Coronavirus.
Like Batman.
Yeah, like they.
Well, that was funny
they started the virus.
when he reached out to me. I'm like,
dude, he completely ignored me. By the way, when I said that there already is a team named the Bats. I don't know if you noticed that.
I don't know.
He answered everything else. Everything else you put up of me that I said, he answered or said something about. He did not say anything about the Louisville Bats thing, which makes me think he kind of had no clue that there was a Louisville Bats.
Probably. So I, you're funny. So
thanks, Chris.
I forget. Oh, so when I originally got the email from this guy,
you're cute.
I'm like,
you're fucking handsome as shit.
Charlotte Bats. I'm like, sure. We'll have the CEO of a baseball bat company on. I'm like, sure, whatever. Had no idea that he was trying to bring a team to Major League Baseball from Charlotte.
I'll tell you what, this is the sad part, is that even if they call themselves the Charlotte Bats, he would not be the CEO of anything. Yeah. I'm gonna be completely honest with him, with you, with everybody. He's probably not. He would just get. If they made a team in Charlotte, it'd have nothing to do with him.
No.
And he would just be the guy who just wasted all of his time wanting the Charlotte Bats to be a thing. And I like hope, it. Me too. I like his enthusiasm.
Exactly. Like I want a team in my fucking city. Like, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Know what I want? I want a legitimate Louisville Balloons team to happen.
Yeah, the Balloons.
The Louisville Balloons. I think that would be incredible.
Oh my god!
So the Louisiana Balloons. I'm sorry, Louisiana
Balloons. As we got off topic,
but shout out to Jankowski and like Ronald Torres. Yeah. Like these players have been.
They're playing that. Yeah, they've been fantastic signings for the Phillies.
They've done everything besides the obvious blunder with Jankowski getting picked off without a throw from the catcher. He just got tugged out, which is insane still. But he's been great. Like his batting average is I think like 375 or something. Like he's getting on his OPS is close to 1,000 if it's not. Like he's playing.
It's 974.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Like that, he's been far and above obviously what anyone could expect. Torres has been the same way. He's been playing great. He's been very clutch. Like these players have done more than anyone could have imagined, and they're the type of players that you need to go on like a 10-4 run. Like you can't just have your stars carried all the time. So like they both been great, and it's good to see. And
like he's
got this division.
He's got like officially 48 plate appearances. He's got 60 plate appearances, but officially 48, and he scored 13 runs. So that's every fourth time he gets on base, there's a good chance he's going to score. He's got 8 strikeouts and 8 walks. So I mean, he's at least seeing the ball. But
he's playing great, and he's not a liability in center field. That's what he's doing. Like he's fast. He tracks the ball well. He's good in center field. So
that's the biggest thing. He's not a liability in center field.
What's even crazier is that they signed both of them players, right? The Phillies they both were on 1-year deals. So combined, it's 1 year for both of them combined. 1 year, $1,370,500.
Yeah,
they have been a complete value.
Exactly. Like their contributions pretty much daily from one of the two guys or both a lot of times. So it's like
fucking Trey's pitched.
Yeah.
The dude does everything.
Yeah. And Jankowski has fucking fantastic hair. So it's like what more can you want from these dudes?
Who was it that said he kind of looks like was that you? What did you say he looked like? He was a mix between who?
He looked like Brody from Point Break.
And he kind of looks like Carson Wentz too. He kind of
he looks like kind of a horse, like a gorgeous horse. Like that's what he kind of looks like with long flowing hair.
A beautiful stallion.
A beautiful from Lancaster, PA. Beautiful homebred stallion.
That should be a new team, the Lancaster Stallions.
There you go. Aren't they the Barnstormers? So stop. So big news,
the fuck is the Barnstormers?
Right. The Phillies are 10-4. They've won 4 series in a row. Well, what's the top news story today? The Carson Wentz came down. Who cares? Like, let him go.
Listen. You beat him. He beat his fucking face into the ground for the last year. Finally, and then they traded him because you, the Phillies fans, you bullied them into doing it, and they listened. So shut the fuck up and stop talking about it.
They'll tell you it wasn't them.
When he's hoisting a Lombardi, don't say anything either.
It makes me want to go throw up.
Does it?
Excuse me,
I don't like any of this talk.
I'll meet you at the Walt Whitman.
So we'll talk about the Phillies. I'll talk to you about what makes me want to throw up.
I was going to say, speaking of
you want to know
nostalgia.
And just not getting off of something. You know what makes me want to throw up? Let's sign Cole Hamels. Let's sign Cole. No, let's not. Let's not do that at all. Cole Hamels does not need to be on the Phillies. There's zero reason for him to be a Philadelphia Philly. Zero.
He hasn't been any type of relevant since 2018.
No, you know what my favorite comment is? I mean, he can't be any worse than
Velasquez. Yeah, exactly.
He can be.
He definitely can
1,000% can be.
Like Velasquez is like he's Velasquez. He's obviously not the fucking best, and we all know that. But he's a decent enough pitcher at this point to just hold down the fifth spot. Yeah, it would be great to have a better pitcher, but people are expecting Cole Hamels to come in and be what? He was already overvalued as a Phillies pitcher in the past. So now you got 37-year-old Cole Hamels who hasn't been good at all since 2018, coming in to do what? Like exactly.
It's funny because Aaron Nola is struggling right now, right?
Yeah, but Cole Hamels is going to come in and dominate.
So Aaron Nola is struggling right now. Aaron Nola's best season doesn't look like Cole Hamels' best season. Cole Hamels' best season does not look like Aaron Nola's worst season.
Yeah, I think Hamels had maybe one sub-3 RA season. I think one.
I know he had one sub ERA postseason, and people thought that he was the fucking second coming of fucking Randy Johnson.
Obviously we don't win the World Series without him. But
right.
No,
he's definitely overvalued. He's not to like compare him 100%, but Nick Foles-ish. Like we went on a fucking tear. We got a championship out of it, and it's like he should obviously be our guy.
Cole Hamels never. He had, you're right, 1 year, 2014 was the only year his ERA was under 3.
Yeah, I know he pretty much lived around like the mid threes.
I'm sorry,
I'm wrong. Couple years over 4.
2011, 279, and then 2014, 246.
Listen, the last time Cole Hamels was relevant, Jose Bautista hit a ball 500 feet and he threw his bat 300 feet. That was really the last time he was really like let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't.
He had the one good season. He was 15-5 the 1 year, but then in 1 year he led the league in hits batsman with 19. So he's had a rough go around.
I just don't know what they did. What they goal is with bringing him back. Like
it's the same. He
can't be worse. That argument is ridiculous.
It's the same thing as when the Sixers brought back AI. It's the same thing as when the Phillies brought back Jim Thome a few years back. It's the same thing as when fucking the Phillies brought Charlie fucking Manuel back to be the manager after they fired fucking Ryan Sandberg. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it honestly does not. Like stop trying.
The Jim Thome thing was just, I think he was a bench player. He wasn't the starter. And I think that Cole Hamels is going to come in and he's going to.
And that's what Cole Hamels is.
He's not going to be a fucking reliever.
No, like he's not going to be much of a starter either.
Yeah, I mean, for depth purposes, I guess. But like, what do you do? Like, you're taking Matt Moore or Velasquez out of the rotation and making them a reliever. I just the people are going to expect so much of Cole, and it's just like I don't understand. Like, if you really think you need to make a move, fucking trade for somebody. There's a ton of players out there that could easily be attained.
Kyle Gibson.
Kyle Gibson. He's having a great season. He was pretty terrible. That Chris just
bye, Chris.
Irish goodbye to us. He just poofed into the sun. Where the hell did he just go?
I don't know. He's gone.
He had enough of the Cole Hamels slander.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I want Cole back, so I'm gonna leave these.
He's gonna come back with a cold Hamels jersey on.
But seriously, fucking Cole. I really don't see the obsession and the need to bring Cole Hamels back. Like, if the Philly and I said this to somebody before, like, and I think you know what it was actually fucking Jack Fritz who commented and said the Phillies need to bring him back. Like, that's the Phillies fan in you that is.
Yeah, it's nostalgia. Like you just bring him home. Like
don't like let him go. Let him retire. Like if he wants to sign a 1-day deal in like next season to retire, by all means, that's cool. They'll do a fucking Cole Hamels night. That'll be nice. Whatever you want to do the same thing they did for Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley. You could do that. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Like if they do sign him, it's whatever. I won't be mad if they sign him, but I just don't get it. But like the fact that people are like pushing, like you said, Jack Fritz, bring him home. Like he's like we don't. He's also who said about Odorizzi? Was it Jack Fritz?
That was Jack Fritz.
Yeah. So this dude fucking doesn't know what he's talking about with pitchers. Obviously, he claims to be a fucking former. I guess not claims to be, but former pitcher himself. But like the push to bring him back as like a centerpiece to help us win this division and shit is out like insane. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like go get a pitcher who's doing well right now, like a Kyle Gibson, or if you could like it doesn't make sense to me to just bring fucking Cole Hamels in.
Do you know what would help win this division? It ain't gonna happen. Is Craig Kimbrell, like a reliever, like plain and simple. Like
I mean,
like how much money is Cole Hamels gonna demand? Like
I don't think he would demand a lot for the rest of the
race. I would assume like $5 million for half a season. Like I would think it would be somewhere around
I'd rather use that money and pay.
You think $5 million?
Like, I'm sorry.
Probably. You don't think
you got to figure probably.
I think 500,000 league minimum.
No,
at that point.
No way. Absolutely not.
I mean, obviously,
you're bringing someone on for a half season and paying them $5 million.
It depends
my ass.
On how many fucking teams are involved too that are obviously going to help that situation.
If he even touches the $5 million mark, I would laugh my ass off if he asked me for $5 million.
Well, two things is it's going to be prorated. We know that. They're going to say, he's won your World Series 13 seasons ago. He was an MVP. This is what his agent is going to sell. I'm just telling you.
I know. You know what I'll sell? It was 13 years ago. You just gave me the reason why I'm not doing it.
Just market value yourself.
We know this, but fans are going to be like, "All right, bring him back. Who cares?" Like, no, he's 38 years old. Like, let's get over 2008.
And that's another thing. 38 years old, asking for $5 million.
I think he's going to get a couple million.
I think he gets $1 million max.
I'm with the Hart pitch of the week. Like, I think that's the Hart.
Truthfully, I do. I think he gets $1 million max. And if he gets more than that, then he saw that team coming.
Yeah.
And he fleeced them.
It's going to be Atlanta. I think it's going to be Atlanta because they're
again. You think Atlanta does that again after last year?
Only because Acuna getting hurt. Yes. Like they.
But what does Cole Hamels? But what does Cole Hamels pitching help?
Nothing. It has nothing to do with it. It's just try to get to make fans feel comfortable about possibly winning.
I mean, they got young Jock.
What's that?
I love that dude. I said they got young Jock. I love that dude.
All he does is fucking swing for the moon.
Yeah, and have the highest socks in the world. Yeah, I love Jock Peterson, dude. He's probably one of the most.
He's a skinny version of Matt Stairs.
He's barely skinny.
Yeah. He's like baby fat,
right?
Chubby. He's skinny fat.
He's skinny fat. 100%. He's skinny.
All he does is hit dingers.
That's what he does. Yeah, I hit dingers, baby. He has that pull swing. That's all he's built to do. He just pull the ball. But the Phillies already have somebody like that, so I was really happy that they weren't jumping in on that sweepstakes.
Who's the Phillies have someone like that?
Didi Gregorius.
He's absolutely like that. Jock Peterson kind of reminds me.
Still hasn't hit an opposite field home run.
Way Brad Miller.
And he never will because he does. That's all his swing does.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought the other day, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, he hit one fly ball to left field. I was like, oh my God, is that the one? But no, not even fucking close. 600 feet away.
No, not. It was a pop up to the third baseman.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Did you guys see the Yankees Red Sox game last night?
Did I see it?
Did anyone watch Red Sox Yankees game last night?
I did not. No, I didn't watch it.
No. I was at work. I was at work till 9:30.
So in like the 7th inning, they stopped Christian Val. I'm getting off topic of the Phillies, but Christian Vasquez points to center field and says something to the umpire. The umpire is like, I don't know what you're talking about. So the next pitch comes in, and it's a ball, and the umpire looks up and sees a flashing light go off in center field.
What?
2 times it happened, and it was caught by Christian Vasquez. And then, but the whole time A-Rod's on. I'm not saying it is anything or it was anything. Not that the Yankees have ever been involved in this before, because they have, but it was swept under the fucking rug in a sealed letter. In a fucking sealed letter, as if we weren't supposed to be like, well, I want to see that. But anyway.
So Vasquez saw
it, and he saw it in center field.
Oh, I thought he meant he was batting. I'm like,
no, he saw it.
Oh, okay.
So the Yankees are batting.
Yes.
And then the Yankees didn't do much offensively after it was called.
Weird. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why. Just with all the cheating going on, I was just assuming he was batting. I'm like,
they scored 6 runs. They scored 6 runs.
Yeah.
Fast. The Red Sox didn't score. The Red Sox average 5 runs a game. I mean, right now they have 1,000 against the Toronto Blue Jays right now, but they didn't score. They didn't score. They scored 5 runs at one point the entire series, and that was at the 6th inning of yesterday's game. They'd only scored 5 runs the entire series.
Interesting.
It was very interesting seeing the flashing light and everyone just being like. But A-Rod, of course, jumped to the Yankees' defense. I don't think it's anything like that. It looked like the guy was just taking a picture.
Okay. You think Christian Vasquez
from his belt? He's taking a picture from his belt.
Yeah, and you think Christian Vasquez is going to be like, "Oh shit, someone's taking a picture. It's distracting me." Like he wouldn't be used to that. Like
it was like a glaring light.
Yeah, it's obviously something
flashing. It was very interesting, but then again, but know what's funny? Neither of you guys heard about that, and want to know why?
No, I did.
Because it's the Yankees.
No.
Yeah, I think I drank.
And then you have that, and then you have the night before where they're throwing stuff at Verdugo,
hit him with a baseball.
Scumbags, and it's just classic Yankees fans. And I know it's funny. The Phillies get to start a series with them tomorrow.
Yeah, fucking trash fan base.
So think about this. Think about Saturday night.
Yeah.
The baseball being thrown at Yankee Stadium, the shooting outside National Stadium. Imagine if that was Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, even if you see one of those posts about the Verdugo getting hit with a baseball, it's like, who the fuck let the Phillies fan in? There's always those comments. It's we just have that trash.
Can we just talk about that? Verdugo looks like the Northeast Philly monk. Can we just talk about that for a little bit?
Kind of does. He also kind of looks exactly like me. So there's a picture I posted on Instagram before, and it's weird how much he looked like me in that picture. I'm trying to find it. I maybe posted it. I don't even know if I did.
Dude.
And I don't know how I'm going to show it to you.
Dude, it's Red Sox are up 12-0 right now in the fucking 4th inning. That team,
that's crazy.
That team just flat out hit.
I feel bad for half of my friend group that bet the old Blue Jays. It didn't work out too well, guys.
How about the Blue Jays going back at the end of July to Canada?
Good.
And I'm back in.
Good. They need to.
I don't know why they're waiting until July, but I guess COVID ended. COVID ends in the middle of July, and they clear everything else out.
So
I don't know if you can see this. So my caption literally says, "Why does this dude look like me?"
Is that what the Dodgers?
Yeah. I said I said apparently I played for the Dodgers. No one told me, but it's good stuff.
That's awesome.
So he's one of my favorite players. He's very handsome.
Yeah. But but this is the thing. It's like, we've talked about the whole Cole Hamels thing. It's like, but the Phillies have to do something, right?
Yeah,
something's got to happen.
They're obviously going to be buyers.
Dombrowski mentioned that they're not going to be sellers.
Definitely not going to be sellers. Yeah, and
they're not sellers.
Got it. I mean, if you're not sellers, you got to be a little bit of a buyer at least. You got to do something.
Or you're standstillers,
which is rare. Doesn't really happen too often.
Chris, I need to know. Is someone playing the show behind you?
Yeah, it's on my TV.
Who's playing it? Do they want this smoke afterwards?
I've seen Andrew McCutcheon go back and forth in the same way
Oh, he's going to start laying on the field with his foot up and shit. That's what happens. You know.
I was playing it earlier and I just never turned it off.
Gotcha.
So
I noticed
these dudes wasting all their fucking time on the TV.
Like,
at least pause that shit.
Yeah. So like you said, like Dombrowski said,
there he is. He's laying on the field. Knew it.
There he is. They're doing push-ups. So we had said like before that whether they were going to be buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. I said they would have to go 15-5. You know,
around
that, and they're 10-4. So there's a good chance, you know, they could get like if they beat the Yankees, you know, and they win the next series. So there's a good chance they could hit that number, and you have to be a buyer. You have to be. They've done everything that we said that could possibly happen. Could happen. Now, if they go and get swept by the Yankees, you know, depending on how bad the series is, you know, will the trade Bryce Harper chant start on Friday? You know, like you haven't heard that in a while. I wonder why. Does anybody want to take? Anyone want to leave with this? Why haven't we heard that in a couple of days?
Because they're 10-4.
Right.
Last 2 weeks.
And he's hitting the hell out. And he's hitting the hell out of the ball.
So he could he could do exactly what he's been doing. If we're losing, it's his fault. Trade him. But then when we're 10-4, nobody talks about if he's good or not. Like no one. He just gets nothing but hate. It's never he's the best player on our team. He's part of the reason we're 10-4. There's never that talk. It's never shit. He's actually doing his job and producing at a high level. No one ever gives him props. But he's having a great season.
Muto's coming around. Can you imagine if Real Muto and Bryce Harper get hot at the same time?
Yeah, it'd be nice. And Hoskins just keeps doing Hoskins things. And
I mean, if McCutchen keeps doing, McCutchen's playing really well too.
Kutch has been unreal for
he's been playing really
7 weeks probably at this point
as the cleanup hitter. Like I don't think anyone's really giving him much props of how well he's doing in that spot.
He's been great. Like, and a player like him, if he's going well, he's such a infectious kind of guy that like him doing well just boosts the clubhouse 1,000%. Like he's such a likable dude. He's fun. Yesterday he's skipping around in the outfield calling the ball off. Like Didi's cracking up. Like he's just, especially when he's playing well, it's more than numbers. He lifts everyone up. Like it's just he puts a good environment around them. And like he's been for 7 weeks now, he's been a fucking stud. Like he's been doing everything. He's crushing baseballs. Like what's he at? 17 home runs now? Something like that. He could potentially have a 30 home run season, and he was injured for a little while. So like he's having a great year. Specifically the last 7 weeks, he's been on fire. And
16 home runs, and
16.
he won in rock paper scissors shoot yesterday.
Yes, he did. He's having a terrible season in that, but
he got he got a W yesterday.
So you know
things are looking bright.
Like I said, you know the personality of this team. You know, when they're winning, you're going to see more of Uncle Larry, as John had mentioned earlier in our shows. That Uncle Larry needs to be around all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when he's playing well like this, it's like it's infectious. Like these other dudes are buying into it too.
Right. So. Like Uncle Larry is he's trying to get everyone on the same page. Like, dude, we're playing a kids game. Let's go out here and have fun. Like you could see that he's actually enjoying himself. They're 2 games over 500. Yeah. They're 2 games out of first with the Mets. DeGrom is hurt again. Like,
yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on.
Lindor
is out for a while. Weeks. Yeah.
Oh, what happened? I must have missed that. What happened to Lindor?
He got hurt. He's getting surgery, isn't he?
Yeah, he said, I'll probably play again this year. I'm not dead." Yeah, like, that's his legit dead. Quote. Like what?
But I mean, it's at 6 weeks that they're going to be without Lindor, and at least 10 days are going to be without.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with DeGrom. He keeps getting these little tightnesses, and there's nothing on the MRIs. Like, what is going on with him? I initially thought it had something to do with like spider tack bullshit, and maybe he was just sore from like overusing the muscles, gripping the baseball harder. But at this point, it's like this is a month after spider tack shit, and he still just keeps getting these random injuries out of nowhere. Yeah, like I don't know what's going on with him. It's nothing structural, they keep saying, but like it's something.
I just think of the spider tack, and I just think of when Hector Neris came off the mound and they checked his glove after giving up 6 runs to the Padres.
I mean, not everyone.
I get it. It just makes me laugh.
Like, not everyone does well with it. Not everyone was a great pitcher because of spider tack. But I mean,
So,
like you just said,
so,
Nara's got
Lindor
smacked
being out
around.
6 weeks. That's about 30 games. If you figure you play 5
like
a
40,
week,
yeah.
Like
And Acuna's out for the year. Lindor's out for 6 more weeks.
Like we don't want any injuries, obviously. Like, obviously not.
But things,
But
I'll tell you
things
what,
are opening up for the Phillies. Absolutely.
That door opened up a little bit wider than it usually does for them.
Yeah, like as could be a buyer too. It's like Dombrowski has to obviously be looking at this like shit, dude. Like we got to go get it right now.
It's when they're now. It's funny, they're getting healthy. Everyone else is starting to struggle.
We talked about this last week. Like their lineup's finally healthy. Like they finally got pretty much every piece. The center field was a shit show from the beginning. Yeah. So like Jankowski, even if he's an average baseball player, helps a ton. So but every other, I guess, Bohm, I don't know. It's like when he comes back, you got to put him back in the lineup. Like I know all these people are like, oh, Torres has to start every game. I get it, but like, I mean, I guess, dude, like you can't.
Bryce is a good utility player.
He's a great utility player, and like Bohm, he was starting to play well. Like I think. Since the beginning of June himself too has been like a 300 hitter. Like obviously not all about average, but he's definitely been better than he was. But like it is going to be hard to take out Torres out of the lineup. He does a lot of things well, and defensively he's just such an upgrade. Like these last 2 weeks, it hasn't been like our defense is awful like it was. Bohm is part of that reason. Like he's not good defensively, and it sucks. But Torres is just a better player for the Phillies, specifically defensively.
So here's my question. If the Phillies go after a guy like Chris Bryant, if they go after somebody like Kimbrel, they go after guys like that. Like Chris Bryant, like they'll have a little wiggle room with the Chris Bryant thing since he becomes a free agent here at the end of the season. They can easily say like, we're not giving up a lot of money for a rental or for a 1-year deal. Like, or for just a half a season move. So they realistically could probably
trade Bohm.
get him for cheap. But I mean, I don't know how much the Phillies really have to have in the trade market here.
Yeah, because you could be leaving anyway. So
yeah, so like I almost feel like if Dombrowski's got to talk to Chris Bryant, be like, listen. It's you. I would if you sign here, then we'll trade for you. Like I'd not let him test free agency.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't see a real reason to go out and get that type of player. But it sucks because I feel like they need that type of player too to do anything more. Like I saw Byron Buxton being thrown around. I've seen Starling Marte obviously was a name, but a guy like Buxton, who I believe still has controlled years, doesn't he?
I would think so. Yeah, I would say definitely.
So if he has controlled years, the Phillies would have to probably give up
more, definitely. Yeah,
Moniak, probably since he's been playing really well down in AAA. I can't imagine they get out of that without giving up a major league ready player like Alec Bohm.
Yeah.
Unless you consider Mickey Moniak the major league ready player. But I don't know. I just don't see a deal like that for Buxton not involving a guy like a Bohm or a Moniak. And you want so bad for them to say, listen, I'm not trading Stott. You know what I mean? There's certain guys that are going to be off limits, but you also need to move something to get something.
Yeah.
So I don't know where do you guys see as far as being able to move things? Like who do you see them being able to move?
If I'm guessing, obviously, he's still got a lot of upside and potential. Maybe Spencer Howard, and you got to figure, like you said, Moniak or Bryson Stott. It's one of those two.
I would hate to see Bryson Stott leave.
Exactly. I don't want to see Stott go. If I had to choose between Stott and Moniak, it's got to be Moniak or Stott stays. It's hard.
Like this is the thing. I don't know, but like that's the difference is Bryson Stott and Moniak are on two different wavelengths. Bryson Stott's he's
still upcoming top prospect.
Player, top prospect, where Moniak has gotten fucking what seems like 3 plate appearances and
Yeah.
He jumped back. From what I read, he jumped back into the Pipeline's top 100.
Stott just got added. Stott is
And
number
Stott-
100.
Yeah, he's.
I don't know if Moniak's up there.
I heard the other day that I heard when the stat that I sent you guys about Moniak, about how since July 1st, he actually got added to the top 100 apparently during the pipe, and he got put in the Pipeline top 100, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean that helps. It might not, but I would think like trade value. Like you got a top 100 Pipeline player, like
100%. It's
that
helping,
has to help.
His
Just
trade value.
Stupid, but like it definitely helps. That like you classified as that. That's obviously something that is part of the negotiation. Like, listen, we're giving you a top 100 Pipeline guy. That's the same position as Buxton. Like you're filling that gap in right away.
Yeah,
he could play. Like he's already made it to the majors for 25 plate appearances. But if you're not winning right now and you're giving up Buxton anyway, he's a good like viable person to take his place. So I would definitely
and he could be a rise player for you.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Like you're saying controlled years with Buxton, but isn't Moniak still on their controlled years?
He's got controlled years.
100%. Yeah, he's for a few more years.
Right.
Yeah, this could all be avoided.
Arbitration years.
Listen, this could all be avoided if we just sign Cole Hamels. Like we're not even having this conversation.
If we trade for Jake Odorizzi and sign Cole Hamels, we don't have to have a podcast anymore. We just fucking want to change it.
Yeah, that's a title.
We'd be 60. We'd have 60 wins. But like, so think about this. Like when you go back and you look at the bullpen, like so they're 12 and 11 in their games.
Yeah.
So they're not as bad. Like the Phillies aren't a bad team. They were just. I feel like we had our frustrations and they were mismanaged this year. You go back to the 2-inning saves with Alvarado.
They're still doing it
with Naris.
It's still mismatched.
Like I don't like. What is he doing? Like you have to. It wasn't working. You know, like, and my thing is this: is like we had the conversation before even before the Boston series. You know, I had mentioned about maybe bringing Ranger Suarez up, you know, as the closer just to see, and then he sends him out for a 7-out save. You're like, what? And now you have everybody, and I mean everybody. I told you Ranger Suarez should have been the closer. He should be the closer since the beginning of the season. He doesn't have the stuff.
And then last game he gets
he's a good pitcher.
Moonshot from Aguilar.
He's and I said this to you guys prior to the whole putting him into the closer's role. He was doing well where he was.
Yeah, we said that. We should just leave him as that fucking.
Let him succeed where he is. Maybe that's just what he is.
He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that you can get two innings out of. He's been a starter his whole minor league career. So like the Alvarado thing, like he uses Alvarado for 5 outs all the time, which makes no sense to me. He's wild as already. Then you're asking him to throw 35 pitches, and it's like Naris is the same way. Like these dudes, their whole careers have been accustomed to 1 inning. Girardi just comes in and assumes that everybody can just get 6 outs and throw 40 pitches. It's not the case.
Right, and that's
Suarez
Alvarado,
is one of the guys that can.
When Alvarado comes in, you know it's a minimum 8 pitch at bat. I just feel like
no idea what's going to happen when he comes in.
It's always 3. It's always 3 and 2. And I mean, Hector Naris, as bad as he's been this year, opponents only batting .226 against him.
Yeah, he's not. He's not been. He hasn't been awful.
Yeah,
this is the thing.
He's given up 5 blown saves.
Just the closer, so everything's amplified.
You know what a closer is? You know what a closer is? It's a failed starter.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every pitcher. Yeah,
every pitcher is a failed starter if you're not a starter. Like this dude failed somewhere. That's why I always relief pitcher.
That's why I always wondered why you're looking at how they're with what's his name, Spencer Howard. Like, well, why don't you make him the closer? Like, let him. Like, I always thought Vinny Velasquez would always be a good closer. I could have been 100% wrong, but I feel like in the beginning of his early stages of his career, like not 2016 because he had them couple good games, but like 18, 19, 20, like we saw him struggle after the 3rd time around. So why wouldn't you just put him in the 9th inning? He's got the stuff.
Or the 8th.
You know, right. You know, because you go, like, think about that. You go back, and we're talking back. Like, look how fast, like, how Ryan Madsen was. All those years behind Brad Lidge, throwing 95 miles an hour and learning from Brad Lidge, like, the mentality of being a closer. Look how good it was when he ended up actually becoming the Phillies closer. he was a decent closer.
And Matson as well was a failed starter too. They thought he was going to be a starter coming up.
I saw like a list of like the worst Phillies contracts ever, and like what their war was. Dude, you would have Brad Lidge was on there. Brad Lidge was on there, and you would have thought it was like blasphemy that he was on there. People don't realize he signed his deal in the middle of 2008, which means he didn't start his deal until 2009. Dude, he blew 13 saves or something like that in 2009.
He had a bad 9 and bad 10. He was not good.
He was not good.
Yeah,
he was not worth any of that money.
So, put it in that perspective, 2009 Brad Lidge, the great Brad Lidge who won us a championship, was worse than today's Hector Neris.
100%, he was.
Yeah, like Neris gets so much hate, obviously, just because he's the closer. Every time he messes up, he blows the game. Like that's what a closer is. Like if he was a seventh inning guy and he was having the same exact year as he's having, no one would give a shit about Hector Neris. Like no one would hate him as much. But that's just the nature of being a closer. That's why, like they always talk about it. Closers are fucking nuts. Like they're hotheads. Yeah. They're mentally like not there because they don't give a shit about that type of stuff. And like we talked about in the first 2 minutes of this pocket, well, I don't know about 2 minutes because we're talking about some weird shit. But you said Hector Neris, he got pissed off and like. He hated that he let down the team. And it's like that's the type of shit you want from your closer. Like you want that, like, my bad. Like that's on me. I'll go get it tomorrow.
You don't want Hector Neris choking out Bryce Harper.
I don't want to Aroldis. A guy like Aroldis Chapman who laughs every time he gives up a fucking home run.
Yeah, like, you want someone that's mad. Like not everyone's like that.
It's funny you bring up Aroldis Chapman.
I don't know what happened to him.
When he gave up the home run to Jose Altuve, he just stood in a mound
smirked.
Smirked. Yeah. I'm like, what? You just lost the ALCS.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're not even you don't even have your head down. Like at least when Aaron Boone hit the walk-off, I think it was against Wakefield in 03.
It was.
You know, he had that dejected look on your face. I just remember
pride for a sporting event.
No. Like he just had that dejected look on his face. You know, I've never seen that with Aroldis Chapman. Like when he gave up that home run in the 2016 World Series to the Cleveland Indians, he just stood there like not like upset. Like, dude, what?
He was like, "Damn, you got me." I'm like that's not. I don't want that mentality. As like fucking, he's a great pitcher for 99% of his career, but like
when you
don't see that from Neris.
He wasn't an all-star this year, but he was an all-star.
His first 25 appearances.
He was incredible.
Were ridiculous.
And then he just looked like shit after the spider attack.
I was going to say, all of a sudden, a little,
we come back. I
don't know.
Everything's leading back to spider attack.
Full circle.
Yeah, I mean,
it's true though.
But you gotta figure like if like you said, Dombrowski's got to sell something, and I think he's the right guy for it. Like I think he can. I think he's already said he's going to make a move. And like as crazy as this sounds, is they're 47 and 45, so they have 70 games left. I think, and I'm going out on a limb here. I think they can go like a 42 and 28. Like they're not that bad of a team.
To finish the year, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have 70 games left, 42 and 28. They have the potential if they go out and get the bullpen help. Like they blew 23 saves. They're 12 and 11 in those games.
Mm-hmm.
They should be 17 and 6 in those games. Like let's be realistic. Like I sat there and I threw out the stats about 6 pitches away from 6 wins. That's basically it's a game. Baseball is a game of inches. You know, between bunts and home runs and everything else, it comes down to pitches. They have the potential to go 42 and 28. They just got to make that move. If that move is getting a Chris Bryant or getting a Craig Kimbrell or Ian Kennedy, like somebody there, they got to make that move.
You know, my problem. I have a few issues with the Craig Kimbrell thing.
I'm not saying go get him. I'm just because his name pops up. I'd rather than
of course it does.
I'd rather than go after like Ian Kennedy, like someone who's good.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Starter.
But the thing with Craig Kimbrell is, I don't know how deep into the 2018 World Series you guys dived in, but the Red Sox won that, and Craig Kimbrell was the closer for the Boston Red Sox, right?
Yes.
The Red Sox stopped believing in him during the postseason. Chris Sale came out and finished the World Series. Why? Because Craig Kimbrell could not get it done, and they knew that. He was spent. He was not the Craig Kimbrell of the Atlanta Braves. He wasn't even the Craig Kimbrell of like the first year with Boston.
Yeah.
He was, and yes, is he having a good year this year? Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's definitely got it.
This is what happens with him.
I'm back. Yeah.
He makes me a little nervous. There's times where he gets very curveball happy, and his curveball is nasty, but it gets picked up very quickly.
It's nasty off of his fastball.
Yes. But sometimes he doesn't work off his fastball. He works off his curveball, which ends up getting him in trouble because he overthinks pitches. He's playing well this year. Of course he is. But I've seen him have good years too and look like shit in the playoffs.
Like you're also saying he's playing well. Now is he just the best player on a shitty team?
No, he's been the best relief pitcher in baseball this year.
Okay. All right.
That's why he has been.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I don't know what opponents are betting against him. So Hector Neris, like we said, opponents only betting 226 off him. It just happens he gives up that home run at the most inopportune time. But he's not. Neris
can be the closer. Realistically, he can be the closer.
Yeah. Well, he can be the closer, and then we'll have the Cy Young winner Jose Alvarado in front of him. 6-0, baby.
That's right. Chris is one of those who still believes wins matter, and that's great.
Well, come on. Just because he's got a 5.35 ERA means nothing.
Look at you. Look at you loving the fucking ERA, the wins and losses.
6-0, 6-0.
6-0, baby.
There it is.
Nah, you know, man. It was just I just find it comical that there's people out there who are actually not saying he's Cy Young, but Alvarado's not as bad as he's 6-0. There's something there. Yeah, he only fucking blew 5 of them.
That dude's a fucking wild card.
He was the pitcher. He was the pitcher of the game because they had a walk-off hit in the game because he blew it. That's where when people talk about wins and losses, that's where you look at it like maybe they don't mean as much as I thought they did.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean there's a lot. I mean Dombrowski is the guy who is known for getting rid of prospects. He did it with Boston. I've seen him make a lot of moves in Boston with prospects. I mean, Moncada, Kopech, he traded both of them for Chris Sale.
Yeah.
It ended up working out because they won a World Series. So all deals make sense when they win a World Series is won.
Exactly.
That's just how it is.
And that's where we as a fan base need to be like, if they end up trading Mickey Moniak and in the next 2 years the Phillies win a World Series because of the trade of Mickey Moniak, at the end of the day, it's a good trade.
Thank you, Mickey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care if he goes on and hits 500 home runs. You know what?
You probably should care about. You probably should care about that.
Well, I'm just saying, but people still talk about the Ryan Sandberg deal from the '80s. Ryan Sandberg was a nobody, right? So he turned up to be the best second baseman for the Cubs. But
isn't he a Hall of Famer?
He's a Hall of Famer. He's pretty good.
He became somebody.
Well, I'm not saying becoming somebody, but I mean like that trade helped the Phillies get to the '83 World Series. There was.
Did they win the '83? Did they win the '83 World Series?
No, that would be the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay, so Chris,
all right,
this wasn't a good example.
It really wasn't. I don't know why I led with that. And with that, I think we need. I
traded a Hall of Famer for
a loss in
the World Series.
All right, can we go with the Hart pitch of the week since I lost this battle? He got traded in 1979. No, actually, I don't know, but I know it was.
I don't know what year it was. Who had a fucking rifle?
I know. It didn't. I know it didn't mean anything. Except for the Cubs got themselves a fucking Hall of Famer
and no World Series, just like us.
So what do you think is the more need? Is it bullpen?
Bullpen.
Absolute bullpen.
Over center field?
Yeah. And this is the thing. This is another thing that I think about. Even if the Phillies make a move, how many moves away are they from a World Series? That's what this is about.
Like 6 moves away.
So would you mortgage your future for a playoff appearance?
Yeah, especially like for this
honestly,
team,
that's something that needs to be talked about. Are they where are you at? Are you just trying to reach October? Because next year this team's going to be different if you just trade for random guys to bring them in.
And I don't want that 3-month rental player.
Me neither. I don't want that. That's what makes me not want Chris Bryant. That's what makes me not want Craig Kimbrell. That's certain things like that kind of drive me away from that.
Yeah,
because I don't want that, and I don't because I've seen that happen, and I've seen it not work. The Milwaukee Brewers are a great example of that. They traded. Don't get me wrong, not like they traded some great player. They traded Matt Laporta, but they traded Matt Laporta for CC Sabathia, ran his fucking arm into the ground. And they made sure they were getting every dollar of that Matt Laporta trade because Matt Laporta at that time was a top 100 prospect.
Yeah,
he was a good player,
third baseman, right?
Yeah, and he played a couple of years with the Indians, but it wasn't like he was some stud. But when they made that move, he was a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so there's certain little things like that you need to really think about. Are you going to how are you going to play this?
Yeah. So do you go for the Rodriguez from Pittsburgh route, even though he just blew a save against the Mets, but that route who is still a couple years of control, or do you go out and get a player I'm scared. I am scared of the rental player just the fact that even if we make 2 moves, say we get Kimbrel and Starlin Marte, someone like Marte's a good player. I'm a big fan of Marte. He said he wants to stay in Miami. I don't know if he's just saying that because he's a good dude, but that's a weird thing to want to. I mean, just living in Miami is probably cool. But if we do that, Marte walks because he's done after this year. Mm-hmm. He's a free agent after the season. And then Kim,
and they're playing.
You're gonna exactly. So I don't think are we a Kimbrel and Marte away from winning the World Series, and I don't know. Obviously, it would help. It would get us closer.
Yeah, when you still need to start pitching.
When you make these moves, when you make moves like that, those moves are World Series moves
or bust.
They're not division. They're not division champs.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So the Padres or someone going to get a 100% a Kimbrel just to be all right, we need just this extra help in the bullpen. That makes more sense.
Have him and Melanson in the back of the bullpen would be phenomenal.
Yeah. So teams like that are bona fide World Series contenders right now. The rental makes a ton of sense. Yeah. But for us who are we're second in our division right now, and if we don't win our division, we got no chance at the playoffs because the West is going to have 3 teams. Yeah. So It like you said, dude, it is a little worrisome that they will go try to get Dombrowski's going to pull the trigger with these God forbid Stott, or I don't think Abel's going anywhere. He's just too young and too high of a prospect. But Dombrowski does it like you said. He traded Moncada and Kopech. They were both studs as minor league players and are studs now. Yeah. So he's not scared to do it for sure. But he got Chris Sale, who's still been there he's obviously been there for years, so it makes sense. Yeah. But I hope he doesn't.
Also somebody who pulls the trigger on crazy deals too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He signed Eovaldi to a fucking 6-year deal.
Yeah, which is insane because he's always battled injuries and he's been so up and down in his career anyway.
And it ended up hurting them long term. Well, not hurting them, but it hurt them in trying to sign guys like Mookie Betts later on, where they ended up having to trade them. So that's the stuff that kind of makes me a little iffy on this whole situation.
Yeah, we got 12 days until the trade deadline.
And
we'll find out.
Exactly, and you'll find out what kind of team this is, because if they're able to get I don't know, I would need them to get a controlled good starter for me to be all right, then we'll go a Shane Bieber. If Shane Bieber's available,
fantastic. Yeah,
I'm not sure if he is, but I know the Indians are very willing to sell. I know
they just develop pitchers and just let them go all the time.
And I know they mentioned Jose Ramirez is not available. They don't want to trade him, which is fine. I'm cool with that. If he would have been worth it, they would have asked for a shit ton of money on him. Yeah. A shit ton of people on him.
If I'm the Phillies, I'm definitely going for a control player just because of the Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto. Because if you go out and you get these guys, you just had these guys for 3 to 4 seasons. Why you already have JT and Bryce in their prime? That would be ideal. You figure Didi's last year is next season, and then you have Bryson Stott. So there's things that Dombrowski.
I wish Didi's last season was this season.
Listen, you never know.
Didi's last season should have been last season.
So, but you always ask the love that Didi gets is because he was a Yankee. Everyone looks at the Yankees.
I would like to say that I would hate him because he's a Yankee.
But they looked at his name. They look at his name. They don't look at his stats. I know that, but they look at his name and his stats that he had. His 30 home run seasons, his this and that. That's what they look at. They don't look at overall numbers like you
quality of player.
Yes, they don't look at they look past his defense. It's stuff that we look at that other fans don't, and that's fine. But then when you realize, oh, maybe Didi's not great. Well, we traded Bryson Stott for so and so. Well, why did we trade Bryson Stott? Well, we had Didi and we were stuck. And you're like, oh, well, that was a stupid trade. We told you this 2 years ago, and you didn't want to listen to us.
I never wanted it. Yeah, I mean, I never really wanted them to sign in here in the beginning from the jump.
But, so the only reason I wanted Didi this year is because they didn't have a plan. They weren't going to bring up Bryson Stott. They weren't going to move.
Yeah, Stott wasn't ready.
Well, it's not even that. It's I couldn't have gone. But I couldn't have gone with Kingery at second.
Who said Kingery? You didn't have to have Kingery at second. You could have went out and got a second baseman.
But that would have been.
Second basemen are cheap.
Simeon's playing fucking great this year too.
Yeah, and he would have been a fucking fantastic option at short or second.
He's great defensive.
But I'm saying, like, it's the Phillies.
I think Simeon has like 20 home runs, 20 doubles, 10 steals this year. It's just super surprising.
Yeah.
That dude's just all around. His contract wasn't that much, I don't think either.
No,
I think he got like 16 million or 18 million maybe. But he would have been fucking fantastic to sign him.
And I think that's what Didi got, didn't he?
Yeah. I think they got this. I think Simeon actually got a little less, maybe. I don't know.
Simeon
pretty similar.
Much better.
Yeah.
Than he has.
And he's really good defensively.
I won't be on next week. I will be in Florida.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys want to come on. I can try and find a replacement for me for a week, or we come back on. We can come back on the following Monday and we talk we talk the trade deadline.
Yeah, because it's trade deadline's in 12 days, like we said. So it's
that'll line right
2 Wednesdays, not Wednesday, but the following Wednesday.
Yeah, that'll line right up with that. But I don't got anything else, you guys.
I want to know the hard take of the week. We haven't done it in a while.
Don't say no blown saves. I did that before and it was bad.
There's only one.
It's been good since you said that, though. So
right, since you said that, they're 10-4. So maybe we should do a 100 take of the week.
Yeah, definitely. After my fucking take of the week, my car got stolen. All kinds of shit happened in my life, so it didn't go well for me after that.
But we'll go with the 100 take of the week.
The Phillies.
Oh, here we go.
Will go 5-1 in their next 6 games.
I like it.
They'll sweep the Yankees,
which would take us to exactly the 15-5 that Chris mentioned.
Yes.
To going right into the trade deadline.
Look at that. Look at us.
Fucking full circle.
Look at that teamwork there, Chris.
Look at that.
Absolute full circle. Then if we do go, then we're going to make trades, like you said. That's going to make us buyers. And then by the time we do our next show, we're going to have a fucking new center fielder. So
have a new center fielder, new closer, a new third starter.
This whole team will look different.
Things are looking bright.
I hope they can trade the manager. That'd be cool too.
Yeah,
so cool. I did want to bring up one thing. So on your Frozen Rope podcast, you were talking about the players and how great they are, and they're named Junior.
Yes.
You didn't bring up Cal Ripken Jr.
See, we were just talking about the Karen Juniors.
I know.
Because I didn't bring up Ken Griffey either.
Yeah, we did.
No,
we did.
Yeah. You brought up
talked
Griffey.
about him.
Oh, steroids. That's right.
Yeah, steroids. Not steroids, and like he was way more marketable than Sosa. Not fucking Sosa. Yeah, Bonds.
Yeah, because he was nice.
So, all right. Well, gentlemen, I feel like we had a good show.
Yes, sir.
When's little Quattro? When does he do?
September.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So just for the playoffs.
So they'll be like 2 months old when you take them to the World Series parade down Broad Street in November.
Correct. Yep, and my wife will be freaking out.
That or drive up to Boston for the parade.
One or the other.
You would definitely be doing that, I'm sure.
One or the other.
So, all right, gentlemen, good show.
All right, boys.
Thanks everyone for the likes and the views.
Later.
No comments today. I don't know where TK and Rises is.
No idea.